New reports indicate that Israel has launched fresh airstrikes on Gaza. The attack has already resulted in casualties, and Palestinian officials are warning that the situation could escalate further. As international leaders call for restraint, concerns are growing over whether this could trigger a broader conflict in the region. What led to this latest strike? What are both sides saying? And how is the world responding? We take a closer look at the facts and the potential consequences of this escalating situation. The airstrikes were carried out by the Israeli Defense Forces in response to what they claim were rocket attacks launched from Gaza into Israeli territory. According to military sources, the targets included militant infrastructure, weapons storage sites, and underground tunnels used by armed groups. Palestinian authorities, however, have reported that residential buildings and civilian areas were also hit. The Ministry of Health in Gaza has confirmed multiple casualties, including women and children. Emergency teams are working around the clock to assist those injured, but the situation on the ground remains dire. Israeli officials state that these operations are part of their ongoing efforts to eliminate threats posed by militant groups in Gaza. The airstrikes, they argue, are necessary for national security. Meanwhile, Palestinian leaders condemn the attacks as disproportionate and accuse Israel of escalating tensions unnecessarily. This latest exchange of fire comes amid an already tense period in Israeli-Palestinian relations. Recent incidents in the West Bank, clashes at religious sites in Jerusalem, and political instability in Israel have all contributed to rising tensions. Israeli authorities claim that the airstrikes were a direct response to aggression from militant groups. They cite ongoing threats from Hamas and other factions that continue to fire rockets into Israeli territory. The Iron Dome defense system has intercepted several of these attacks, but Israel has warned that any further escalation will be met with a stronger response. On the Palestinian side, officials argue that Israeli policies, including settlement expansions and military operations, have fueled resentment and resistance. They insist that the airstrikes are part of a broader pattern of aggression that disproportionately affects civilians. Humanitarian organizations have also voiced concerns about the impact of these strikes, warning of a worsening humanitarian crisis. The timing of this escalation raises questions about whether political factors are also at play. Some analysts suggest that Israeli leaders may be under pressure to take a strong stance amid internal political challenges. Others believe that militant groups in Gaza are seeking to provoke a response in order to rally support. The international response to these strikes has been swift. The United Nations has called for an immediate de-escalation, urging both sides to exercise restraint. The US has reaffirmed its support for Israel's right to self-defense while also calling for measures to protect Palestinian civilians. Meanwhile, protests have erupted in several cities, with demonstrators demanding an end to the violence. Diplomatic efforts to mediate a ceasefire are already underway, with Egypt and Qatar reportedly playing a key role in negotiations. However, with both sides unwilling to back down, the possibility of a prolonged conflict remains high. The humanitarian situation in Gaza is also a growing concern. Medical facilities are struggling to cope with the number of injured, and power shortages are making it difficult to provide adequate care. Aid organizations are calling for urgent assistance to prevent further suffering among civilians caught in the crossfire. As tensions continue to rise, the key question remains: is this just another round of violence, or are we witnessing the start of a much larger conflict? The coming days will be critical in determining what happens next. This latest escalation in Gaza is part of a larger cycle of conflict that has been ongoing for decades. While efforts to broker peace have been made, the underlying tensions remain unresolved. The question now is whether this will lead to a broader war or if diplomatic efforts can prevent further bloodshed. What do you think? Will international pressure be enough to stop this conflict from escalating, or is a larger war inevitable? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Stay informed by subscribing for real-time updates. Be sure to like this video, share it with others, and turn on notifications for the latest news on global conflicts and international affairs.